Hello, my name is Alina Dumding, and today I will be discussing director Jordan Peele's film Nope. More specifically, I will be doing a deep dive on the film's monster, which is later given the name of Jean Jacket. Jean Jacket, which is initially thought to be a ship in the sky with aliens aboard, ends up being a singular creature that feeds off of horses and anything that makes eye contact with it. It disrupts the human environment when its presence is close enough, resulting in an anti-electric field, meaning that all electricity and power within its proximity will go dark. This has the most negative impact on the black protagonists, OJ and Emerald Haywood, as they are attempting to not only defeat the creature but also capture footage of its existence. By documenting footage of the creature, they would be making history in Hollywood, marking a pivotal moment in the industry that has continuously erased black representation. Being that the film's release was in 2022, set in the present time, there are direct ties to real-world events. 2 years prior to Nope's release, the death of George Floyd was brought to the attention of the media and resulted in a push for racial justice and for law enforcement to change. Jean Jacket, in the situation similar to the police, took the lives of individuals who were innocent without facing repercussions until the end of the film. To be more specific, when Jean Jacket attempted to take the lives and identities of the black protagonists, that would be another moment in history where black people's participation in film was erased. When referencing the murders of George Floyd and Eric Garner, the piece titled The Death of George Floyd, Bending the Arc of History Toward Justice for Generations of Children, it states that these cases represent just the tip of the iceberg because these murders happen to be recorded on bystander cell phone video or police webcam capture. Within the film, the characters become fixated on capturing Jean Jacket, and this is especially proven by the TMZ reporter who only cares about getting the perfect shot and the white cinematographer Antlers Holst who only cares about shooting the impossible. These instances directly impact and ignore the black protagonists as they are used by others to capture the story first. In the introduction to the piece Black Cinema and Visual Culture, Art and Politics in the 21st Century, authors Artel Gray and Ed Guerrero opened it up by explaining that black people's involvement in American cinema has been long and complicated, often with the result of them being left out. This is demonstrated in Nope as character Emerald Haywood discusses that her great-great-great-grandfather, Alistair E. Haywood, was a black man who was in the first motion picture in the world. She mentions that there is no record of him, insinuating that he was forgotten in the history of cinema. In an academic review from Mary F. Corey, she brings this up in terms of America's racist history, as the film crew paid no interest to Emerald in the history of the Haywoods, further disregarding the history of black individuals in American cinema. Now, let's shift back to the presence of the monster in the film, Jean Jacket, who inevitably represents more than just a monstrous creature. In the article, Capitalizing on Animality, author Helen King accurately describes the creature as both a monstrous animal and a materialization of capitalist crisis. On its own, Jean Jacket is a hungry and dangerous creature, but when the character Jupe uses the creature as a means to profit off of it, there are severe consequences. This symbolizes that chasing fame, or in Jupe's situation, clinging on to fame, can turn on you when you put others at risk for your own personal gain. This then connects to how the history of the Haywood story was ignored by American cinema, demonstrating how the presence of black people in cinema is often overlooked if it is not profitable. So, what does this all mean? Yes, the anti-electric field that the monster creates makes it extremely difficult for them to record, which further proves that black people's presence and experiences in Hollywood are erased. But it goes beyond this. In the piece, Looking Trilogy, author David Wall says that ultimately the film is about the black experience and the dangers of looking. The protagonists are aware that if they do not look directly at the monster, they neither pose a threat nor face as much danger. This monster, which searches for the eyes of its prey, serves as a metaphor for the racialized sense of looking, where black people are not always safe when their gaze is seen or misinterpreted as threatening. In this case, the monster then acts as those in society who believe that only some are permitted to be seen and heard. This is harmful as it generates the idea that black people's voices and ideas are not as important, and that they cannot speak up without fear. When OJ finally does look back at Jean Jacket, it can be interpreted as black individuals confronting and standing up against the systems that oppress them. In Jordan Peele's Nope, he uses the monster Jean Jacket to convey a narrative that is a very real truth, that black people have often been excluded or erased from American cinema. Jean Jacket also reveals the lengths that individuals would go to exploit and profit from threatening forces. Simultaneously, black stories and experiences in film are often ignored unless they benefit or advance another character's narrative, which this film challenges. The film's purpose is about reclaiming and calling for the acknowledgement of black presence in Hollywood, since the beginning of American cinema. With its powerful ending where the protagonists finally look at the monster, then conquer and capture footage of it, Nope serves as a reminder that black stories are meant to be heard and told on their own terms.